guys, and like that's it. You don't really hear much about anything gay in Oswego, and you wouldn't. So because they don't know about it, it leaves them, I guess, like uneducated about it and making them homophobic. Like, it's probably because they have this idea of how gay people are. Like they're all flaming, really gay. They hit on everybody, and I mean you do have those gay guys who are really flaming, and do hit on straight guys, but the majority of homosexuals are like me. You can't tell they're gay. They don't hit on straight guys because there's no point in that, and we're just pretty chill. But because of that stereotype, it does leave people homophobic. And why it's like that in Oswego. But I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it would be in Oswego. Like I really thought it'd be like horrendous, like real bad. But it's not as bad. They have the Gay Straight Alliance that they have Rainbow. And it's pretty cool. Well, it's not that bad. Not as bad as I expected.
Largest demographic group, besides, of course, the continent of Africa, which has the different strain of HIV, which is just killing everyone. Heterosexual women.
Last year, around this time, actually August last year, 2008, 2009, 2008. I started talking to this kid named Matthew. He was like the first guy I liked in a long time since my ex that I was with for 3 years prior, Jesus. And the day after we started going out, we were walking down the street in New York City in the West Village, the gay place, and there was like one of those testing vans that they test for HIV, and so I asked him, I was like, "Oh, have you ever been tested?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay," so I was like, "What are your results?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm positive," and I'm like, "Haha, okay," like I'm thinking he's joking, so I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "How about you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm negative," and he's like, and I was like, "So you're positive?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm positive," with a smile on his face. And I'm like, okay, well, that's why they have condoms and stuff, so it's all right. So he just stops in the middle of the street and just gives me the biggest hug, just like wraps all around me, giving me like 1,000 kisses. And he was like, "You don't know how happy you just made me." I froze. I was like, oh shit, he was serious. So it took me a couple of days for it to settle in, for me to accept it, like the fact that HIV is really out there, and I'm going out with someone who's HIV positive, because it's never been in such close quarters with me. But I stayed with him for 3 months because I really liked him, and I was like, this is not a reason for me to break up with anybody. A week exactly to the hour after I found out about Matthew, I was in the same area, West Village, New York City, and I was standing by the pier, and my ex Brian was there, so I was like, okay, hey, what's up? How are you? Before that, like that summer or earlier that year, I was trying to get back with him. But he kept refusing, no, he didn't want to. So he told me, he was like, I gotta tell you something. And I was like, what? He's like, the reason why I didn't want to get back with you when you kept trying, I'm thinking because his boyfriend or something like that. Or he didn't love me anymore, some shit like that. And he was like, it's because I'm HIV positive. So my jaw dropped. I didn't want to believe it. I was so fucking upset. Like, I was really upset. And then he explained to me, like, how he got it. Like, he got it from some asshole that he was talking to. And when Brian found out that he had it, he asked him, he's like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you tell me? Like, when he told him that he was HIV positive, because Brian thought he got it from somewhere else. And he thought he gave it to the kid who gave it to him. The kid goes, oh, yes. He's like, that's great. Now me and you can be together. We're meant to be together now. Now you can be with me. Da da da. And Brian looked at him like he was retarded. I was like, you didn't tell me you had HIV and you gave it to me? And Brian was like, no, fuck you. Like, fuck off. So the kid sent him a text message like, oh, you fucking slut. I hope you go spread that shit around. I hope you get AIDS. I hope you die. This kind of like ridiculous shit.
I don't think you'll find love in Oswego just because it's not, I mean, it's his group of people maybe, but not his, I think his type is definitely the city type. That's why I don't think he'll find love here. And I hope that he doesn't, because he's not going to be here for the rest of his life. I want him to find love in a place where he's going to reestablish himself and be comfortable staying, so he wouldn't have to, you know, be away from whoever he loves.
Love you, girl.
I love you more, Sydney.
How what? I know boobs pretty well. I mean, for a gay guy, I grab a lot of tits. Yeah, I can. Usually do. Yeah, I like titties. I love titties. Motorborn son of a bitch, you. Okay, I'm trying to sell.
Understand you had no